Hello, YouTube. Good morning. Let's see how the setup is. Try to put the brightness up here a little bit. Okay, that doesn't look bad. Hi, everybody. Welcome. It has been a while. I don't like the computer showing, so let me put it down a little. It has been a while. I'm going to go live on TikTok as well as Instagram. I would like to make YouTube my main profile, but for some reason, most of the people that watch and comment and want to be a part of it, part of everything, I usually on TikTok. Hello, TikTok. Welcome. I'm back here again, ready to do another free reading. It has been a while. I haven't been around in a while, of course, as always. I am never in one place. Welcome, everybody. And we are going to start. Hello, Blackstone Restaurant. Hi, on Instagram. Pleasure to see you. Pleasure to have you. Hi. Let me remove this out of YouTube. Okay. We are going to start, as always, like we always do it. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the hearts. And we're going to do a free reading. Oh, thank you so much. What's the name? Chief Ugo. Thank you, Chief. Like we always do it, today I have here 4 decks. I have the Isis Goddess, and I have the Guardian Angel, the African Goddess Rising, and also the affirmation cards. And these are affirmation and meaningful intentions. Right? So feel free to either ask a question in the chat or just say you would like a reading. You don't necessarily have to put your question in the chat if it's personal. But if you do want to put your question in the chat, to go ahead, you can do that. If you want, you can choose a. Oh, let me do this. That TikTok is prompting me that I always forget. If you want, you can also choose a card deck, or I can just choose the one that I feel would be right for you. You've been following me for a while. Oh, thank you, Chief Ugo. Thank you. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you so much. So let me start with, a part of me wants to start with the African Goddess Rising, and another part of me want to start with the affirmation cards. Let's do the affirmation cards first. And whoever is the first person to ask a question, we go with the African Goddess Rising. How about that? Okay, let's do these cards. If you've been here before, you remember me talking about how beautiful these cards are. And just see that. They're just beautiful, flowery, very feminine cards. And I enjoy them. It's just that they're too big for my hands. Hi, Odette. Did I say that right? Odette J. Hello. Are you Haitian? I don't know why I feel like asking that. Okay. Let's start on a good space, which is affirmations, and then we can move ahead with any questions. There, I got 2 cards. One of them said, I am authentic with my words and action. Oh, Odette, you are Haitian? Or do you mean that's right, as in the way I said your name is right? And then the second card is, I accept and love myself unconditionally. For the people who have been following me for a while, we always talk about self-love and being authentic. So it's great that these two cards came as beginning, because self-love is the base of everything in my own personal experience, and just changing my life, switching things for me. What I have come to realize is the base of everything that I do and I say is on self-love. Do I love myself? Am I loving myself at every moment? When I'm angry, when I am happy, when I'm mad, no matter what is happening at that very point, am I loving myself enough to see and to understand and to know what I want at that particular moment? So let's start with I am authentic with my words and action. Self reflection. Regularly reflect on your values, beliefs, and intentions. The way you said my name, I'm Gambian. Oh, you are Gambian. Oh, wow. Nice. Well, welcome. Regularly reflect on your values, beliefs, and intentions. For me personally, right? And let me know in the chat if you relate to this. Self reflection is not just reflecting on my values and intentions, but also what are the values, beliefs, and intentions that was given to me that are not working for me anymore. Thank you, Abdullah. Thank you. Right? So when I do self reflection, when I sit down to reflect, I always look at, okay, what are the things that were given to me, that were told to me, the way that I was raised, right? The environments that I have been in. What are the beliefs, the intentions that I have picked up, and the values that are either never worked for me or are not working for me anymore, that I have to change or let go of. And the moment I'm able to do that and understand that, this is when I am able to create my own values, my own beliefs, and my own intentions that would work for me right now. Open communication. Communicate openly and honestly in your interactions with others. Right? Doing lives like this and coming to speak to everyone and having conversations is what is helping me communicate openly with others. Because for me, communication has always been a very difficult thing. If you were raised in any way that has anything to do with childhood trauma, adverse childhood trauma, you know that communication is a difficult thing. Speaking to people is difficult. Being in crowds is difficult. Some people who know me might say, but you're always everywhere. You do this, you do that. Yes. And I still have social anxiety, difficulty communicating with people. Right? So being able to communicate not just openly but honestly, it will it will save you a lot of headache and a lot of pain, because the moment you're able from the get-go to say that is not for me, I cannot do that, I cannot be a part of that, I don't want that. No, it's very helpful for your mental health. Align actions with values. Ensure that your actions align with your stated values and principles. Again, it's the basis of self love. The moment you're able to love yourself, everything else after that, it's just easy. That way, being able to align your actions with your values and your principles is very easy, and that is what helps us to manifest too. If you want to manifest, and we talk about manifestations, you want to manifest a new life. Some people say, mostly women, manifest a soft life, right? There are people who come on and talk about their relationships too. You're wanting to manifest a healthy relationship. All those is being able to align your actions, your words, and your values and your principles together. Because if you write, this is what you want a house, you want this, you want that, you want whatever else it is, but the actions you're taking every single day doesn't align with what you stated that you want, then the manifestations is not going to come. It all has to align. I accept and love myself unconditionally. Practice self love, self compassion. Set aside a dedicated time each day for self reflection and positive affirmations. For people that have joined, we talk about healing a lot, being able to heal yourself, because when you heal yourself, you're able to heal the generations that are coming before you and the generations that already passed. I was just listening to a stream with Erica Badu here. I might listen to it again. Erica Badu and Jock Raka, some other people, rites and rituals, right? And they were talking about how when you heal yourself, you're able to heal 7 generations coming after you, and you also heal 7 generations that passed before you, right? So self-compassion is being able to self-reflect first, look at, okay, what was I taught, what was I told that either now I see is not working for me or is not true, that you have to change. And then the problems that you might have in life or are currently facing, you see how you contribute to those issues. I've had some people come here. Hello, Kine. It's been a while, Kine. Nice to see you. I've had people come and talk about their relationships. When a relationship breaks down, it's not just one person. It's not just the guy and it's not just the girl. It's the two people who are in that relationship, marriage, whatever it is. Nice to see you, right? So when you sit down to self-reflect, and we take a relationship, for example, and you say, okay, my marriage broke down. Now, this is what my husband did, and this is my part that I played. At that point, you need self compassion for yourself. If you are a man, you say, this is what my wife did, and this is what I did. This is what I contributed to the breakdown of my marriage or relationship. At that point, you need self compassion for yourself. Because if not, then that's where regret comes. And then you are never able to forgive yourself for the part that you played in whatever happened. Or you see that your entire life, for example, seeing, looking at myself, trying to trying to manifest certain things that I want in my life. But every time that I start to manifest it, it always breaks apart. It always falls apart. Now I have to see that I was self-sabotaging. And in that self-sabotage, it was ways that I was talked to as a child, words that were put in my mind as a child, that I grew up with and I believed. And as I grew, I used to repeat those in my mind, which is ruminate. I used to ruminate about things like that. And so no matter what I am doing, when it breaks down, I wouldn't know why things are falling apart. So when I began to understood, it's because of the story I was telling myself in my head and in my mind. I needed to have self-compassion because for years I couldn't see how I contributed. And then when I saw how I contributed, I just kept telling, I cannot believe I would do that. And if I didn't have self-compassion on those points, I couldn't move past it. This is why we see a lot of people that are stuck. You see a lot of people who are stuck at a certain point in their life, and you're wondering how comes they cannot move on from that. It's because they are ruminating constantly about those things that happened to them 5 years ago every single day. Self-compassion is not there, self-reflection is not there, self-love is not there. So they are not able to take one step ahead of that. Establish healthy boundaries. Identify and communicate personal boundaries in relationships and work. Engage in self care practices. Create a self care routine tailored to your individual preferences and needs. A better part of childhood trauma, adverse childhood experiences, is being raised in a place where your parents or the people that raised you, your environment, you didn't see anything that had to do with self-care, self-love. Nobody talked to you about loving yourself. Nobody showed you ways to love yourself. There are a lot of girls, a lot of women whom their parents never showed how to establish a routine of every day taking care of yourself, because majority of us women, we were taught to take care of everybody but ourselves. So having a routine is a powerful thing, and it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. I thought somebody was opening the door. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, right? Having a self-care routine, a self-love routine. What do you do every single day when you wake up in the morning? Do you take vitamins? Do you take supplements? Do you make your smoothie? It doesn't matter where you are. Even if you are in Africa or in the Caribbean or anywhere else, right? Because I don't like using third world country, because the more you know, the more you know, the more you learn, the more you learn. Danny, what's your routine? So I'm currently using facial cleanse that is made from turmeric. I'm supposed to use it first thing in the morning, and also, well, twice a day. So usually when I wake up in the morning, that's what I do. I start with the turmeric to wash my face, but there are times where I make my coffee and then I have some coffee before I go wash my face and then brush my teeth. And then I would use, what is it called? A toner, a spray toner. I spray my face, do an eye lotion thing, and then I'm using the tallow. It's called the tallow balm skincare that I really like, and it smells wonderful. And then I'll put that on my face. So sometimes I do that before my coffee. Sometimes I do that after my coffee. If I do that before my coffee, then I would sit at my desk and drink my coffee. Majority of the time, my day starts at 5 in the morning. So from 5 to 6, I'm listening to. This week, I've been listening to Neville Goddard. I even have a whole playlist of him on my YouTube channel. So I'll wake up first thing in the morning. Say at that time, I start with coffee. I'll make my coffee while I listen to Neville Goddard, and then I play the high frequency music under the Neville Goddard, right? And then I sit down on my desk. Sometimes I'll take some time, maybe read some emails if I have any, depending on what I want to read at the beginning of the morning. I will read that while I'm listening to Neville Goddard. At 6 o'clock, I am still part of the Zen Mountain Monastery, which is in New York, upstate New York. But the branch in Brooklyn, they offer morning meditation. So where I am at, it starts at 6, but for New York, it starts at 7. So at 6 o'clock, I will do the silent meditation with them, which goes from 6 to 7 a.m. 7 a.m., then I will post mostly on, what is it called? On threads, not TikTok, on threads, on Twitter, on Facebook, morning encouragement, morning whatever. So by 7, my day with the daylight and brightness, it's started. But before 7, I've taken care of myself. If I want to shower, I will take a shower. I'll drink my coffee. I've listened to something that gets my mind going in a positive light, in a good way. It gets me feeling good about my dreams and my goals and the things that I want to do. And I feel awake. I feel light. 7 o'clock, when that starts, to 8 to 9, whatever else I am doing, I'm always in a very good mood. Now my day has begun. I feel good about myself. I feel good about what I am doing. And I don't repeat the same at night, but I have a similar routine at night, minus the coffee. Sometimes I will do tea during the day. When I have the opportunity, I would light incense around me. It can be frankincense. Most times, I prefer getting the African made, handmade incense. Uh, One of them is called Goe. But if I don't have those, I will do sage, frankincense, Palo Santo. I light candles as well, most times during the day, because I like the aromatherapy. As you can see behind me, I have one, even though this one is also an air purifier. So I would have this going during the day. Sometimes I light it at night as well. At night, majority of the time, I would sleep with affirmations, whatever affirmations that I want to work on. It can be self care, it can be self love, it can be money, right? It can be wealth, whatever it is, it can be peace. So adorable. I give this an excellent recommendation. I am sure you can be a trap. Right. So at night, that's I would sleep with that on, right? And then, but before that, I would wash my face with the turmeric face wash again. I think I should have a video of it or a link to it in my Amazon shop, the specific one that I use. I use two different types. A therapist. Yes, that is the goal, to be a therapist. I'm getting there. I'm studying for it. I'm about to finish my bachelor's degree, and then after that, the master's to get my license to be able to practice therapy. Yes, I understand. Yeah. So so what I listen to in the morning connects to what I listen to at night, because those two times of the day are very powerful. When you first wake up in the morning, your mind is open. When you're going to bed, your mind is open. So what you put in those times are very important, which is why mostly there's a saying that never go to bed angry. Never go to bed angry, never go to bed unhappy. No matter what you're feeling, by the time you're going to bed, make sure you get yourself back in a very calm, serene mood, be you a man or a woman, before going to bed. Because whatever you go to bed with sticks with you, and then you wake up with that mood. You might say, "Oh, I was angry when I went to bed, but now I woke up and I feel better." But during the day, whatever events happen at night, it will come back. Okay, let's do um, a question from anybody, and then we pull a card, because I don't want to keep talking, because I can do that, especially those two things of going to bed and waking up in the morning and the routine that you do. I can speak on that forever. So let's pick a card. And if nobody has a question, then we can end it here today and then do another day. I'm thinking we do the African Goddess Rising. If anybody wants that, let me know in the chat. And you don't have to ask your question in the open. You can just say you want a card picked, and we can pick one, and then you can ask your question in your head. It doesn't matter. Hey, Aji. Is it Aji? Aji? I'm pronouncing it the Gambian way of saying Aji. Okay, Aji, we can do the African goddess rising. Pick a card from that. I need a new table where I am at because I'm at a new spot. Maybe I can pull this. I just don't like the computer showing on TikTok. Not TikTok, on YouTube. Okay. Here we go, IG. You feel free to ask your question in your mind, and then whatever card that comes out, that will be for you. Okay, here we go. Mommy water. I love mommy water. I mean, it says naked. Yes, not saying that you get naked. Mommy water. Hi. Okay. Mommy water. Some say Yamaya. Some say what's the name? Saint Marta. Santa Marta. Santa Marta. Yeah. Yara, you said what? What is this? What is what? Senegalese. Aren't we all Senegalese? Hmm? Okay, Mami Wata. Goddess of emotional nakedness. Yes. Um, Saint Marta. She is she is the she's a protector of women, especially when it comes to emotional abuse, when it comes to just any kind of abuse on women. Mami Wata, yeah. Hide no more. The emotional nakedness you avoid is your superpower, not your shame. How are you doing? I'm doing wonderful. How are you? Say it. Hide no more. The emotional nakedness you avoid is your superpower, not your shame. Absolutely. It's just like the self reflection cards we were talking about and loving yourself, right? Most of us cannot get vulnerable. I always have a word with the rolling R's. We cannot get vulnerable. We can't tap into our emotions or even tap into our feelings. We always feel like we have to hold it together. We don't want people to know how we feel. We don't want to talk about how we feel. Why? If you're a man, you've been taught. to hold your emotions, to suck it in, right? Because if you show your emotions, that means you're weak. Women up until this day are said to be either emotional or we're just weak in general. Women are just considered weak as a whole in general because it is said we are emotional. But we have not been taught how to use our emotions. But every single day, the television that we watch, the shows that we watch, the things that we buy, they know how to tap in our emotions to get us to do what they want because they know the power of our emotions. But we haven't been taught that, how to use it. Being emotionally naked means being vulnerable enough for the real you to shine through. Vulnerability is a strength, not a weakness. Exactly what I was saying. I should just continue reading this first because it's saying exactly what I'm saying. Practice being transparent. Start with the people closest to you. Say, I haven't been showing the whole me, but I am starting today. Have the courage to feel and express your feelings without people pleasing. Absolutely. Speak your truth. Share your story. Cultivate an appreciation for vulnerability in others. Become comfortable with feeling uncomfortable and making others uncomfortable. And the declaration is I have the courage to be vulnerable. Um, Adja, let me know if this resonates, if this speaks to anything that you want to hear today, right? And the basis of this is this part that says have the courage to feel and express your feelings without people pleasing. I don't know about any of you, but for me, it took me years to know that people pleasing is actually a thing. That even some of the things I was doing is people pleasing. Not being able to say no is part of people pleasing because you want everybody to like you. You want to be liked by everyone. You want everybody to love you. And this stems from not being seen or not feeling like you belong from a very early age. It does. I think also culturally, we've been programmed to suppress our emotions. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. I was listening to a hip hop podcast yesterday, and one of them, what's his name again? DJ Head. DJ Head said that he never changes his number because he heard from one of his mentors that the only people that change their number are people that cannot say no. And that hit me because for years I used to change my number every year. Every year I'll have a new number. And yes, it's because I couldn't say no to people. And there were people that I just wanted to remove out of my life. So instead of not answering their call or saying, okay, I don't want to talk to this person anymore, I'll just change my number. Can you say that again? The last part that I said with about the number, it was DJ Head on a hip hop podcast. What is the name? The Bigger Picture. And he was saying that his mentor told him, the only people that change their number frequently are people that cannot say no. And for me, I used to change my number every year. Every year, I would have a new number. If you haven't seen me for 2 years or talked to me for 2 years, there's a possibility you can't reach me anymore because I've changed my number. And when he said that for me that was true because the only reason I was constantly changing my number was because there were so many people I just couldn't say no to. Like I just said, right? Culturally, we've been programmed to suppress our feelings. I could never say how I felt I could never tap into myself emotionally. And like I always say, when I come here, it took a while for me to be able to speak like this or talk to people authentically about myself, to say, I went through this happened to me, and this is how I got through it. Or even to say, um, I went through childhood trauma, I went through abuse, I went through all of that. It takes a level of vulnerability to be able to say that without people pleasing, without trying to get people to like you. People pleasing is wanting everybody to love you, wanting to take care of everyone, wanting everybody to be, or wanting to be in everybody's good graces. You don't want to make anybody feel uncomfortable, right? Because that also taps into abandonment issues. If they don't like me, they are going to leave me. Oh my God, what would I do if they leave me? Would this person leave me? So you do everything that you can so people don't leave you. You sacrifice your own mental health so people don't leave you, because you don't know what to do with yourself if people should leave you. People pleasing. And most of us, culturally, that's how we were raised. And for me, it took a lot of work to get out of that. Now we call it what? To stand on business. To say, this is how I feel, this is how it is for me. If you like it, fine. If you don't like it, fine. If you want to, if you want to remove yourself out of my life, I will open the door for you. You can go. For a long time, I used to be the one to say, don't leave me, don't go. Oh my God, what would I do? But I had to see that I was trained to act like that because the people around me acted that way. Speak your truth, share your story. There's power in being able to share your story on a platform like this with the people around you. The more you share your story, and not sharing your story doesn't mean you are a victim. It's sharing your story in a very authentic way, in a way that tells people, I've gone through this, and if you are going through it, you can get over, you can get through it. You can move past it, just like I did, giving people that hope, right? And one thing that I have found is the more you speak your story, the more you begin to find the types of people you want around you. Because there are people who don't want to hear it, they would leave your life. There are people who are not ready for that type of honesty and raw conversation and deep conscious conversations. They would leave your life because they can't stand the conversation. Then you begin to have people who you can sit down, be quiet with, have honest conversations. Dating me is difficult. I'd ask for a breakup every time I get angry. I mean, are you saying that as something you want to change, or are you saying that as a bragging? As in, dating me is difficult. Like you feel that it's more like, I'm a difficult person. Is that how you are saying that? Because that's how I read it. Or are you saying that because you're tired of that? Because there are two different tones that can come out of that. Anyway, become comfortable with feeling uncomfortable and making others uncomfortable. There's something that I learned about that, especially become comfortable with feeling uncomfortable. I I do therapy. I have a therapist, and I'm also studying to be a therapist. Right? It's that thing where they say that therapists need therapists as well. So I had a therapist. I haven't talked to her in a while. So sometimes I just message her and then we talk on the phone. But one time, what she told me about this, become comfortable with feeling uncomfortable. She tells me you have to get to a point where you can sit with yourself when you're not feeling good, when you feel uncomfortable. You can sit with yourself and be by yourself without wanting to vent or wanting to talk to people or wanting to call people. You know how most of us are told, or if you're feeling this or you're feeling that, call a friend, call your family member, call somebody. We get told that. But she told me, you have to get to a place that no matter what is happening in your life, you can handle it by yourself. You can handle the discomfort. You can handle the pain without needing a therapist, without needing to talk to someone, without needing someone. That really hit me, right? Because I'm used to hearing my computer charger. My computer is dying. Let's see. Ooh. Nene, munga unplug charger. Computer charger and take it from there. Small computer is dying. Yes. Yeah. So Aja, let me know if that resonates and if you have any further questions about that. Yeah, it's emotional nakedness. Being able to be just emotionally naked, to be able to be to open. It also reminds me, I remember there was somebody I knew when we were friends, and he was somebody that I would sit and talk to a lot. And at that time, I still wanted to write. I wanted to still talking about, but I didn't know exactly how to word it. So when I write or when I talk about these things to him, I would always write it in a way that was um, more of the pain that I was feeling, if that makes sense. So instead of write it in a healing way, and that was healing for me, I would write it in the lens of the pain that I was going through. And it was later in my healing journey that I realized that one of the reasons he always felt very uncomfortable reading what I wrote. It was just because it was too heavy for him. Now at that point, I thought something was wrong with me because I was trying to get all of that out, be more vulnerable in my life. But the way that he felt, I interpreted it as maybe I should never talk about this. Maybe I should not talk about this. And so you get to see the people who are not meant to be in your life at that point, the moment you start to talk. Because people will get uncomfortable with the things, with your authentic truth, because it's not their truth. All right, let me plug this. Ah, there's a plug here. This is easy. I have to unplug this. All right, that's better. Cool, cool, cool. We can do one more or two more before we go. You are very welcome, Anna. We can do one more or two more. Maybe the Isis goddess rising. I just remembered that I have to cook today, and I don't feel like it. We can do the Isis goddess rising. Anybody in particular, or should I just pick one? Today is calm in here, which also feels good. But it also feels good when there's like So many questions and so many people too. But it has been a calm, rainy days. These past days, it has been very rainy and calm where I am. Most parts of the country basically has been going through a lot of flooding. I'm not close to the floods, but we've had the rain for the past 2, 3 days, every single day. Okay, let's pick one more from the Isis goddess. I just feel the Isis goddess. I like the Isis goddess. And then we can close for today. One fell, but I wasn't ready. Should I take it? Cool. Santayala. Oh, another one. Let me do it again. Okay, let's get that ready. Messy file. I'm sure your name is not messy. Abundance of Sothis. Sothis, is that the way it's pronounced? Sothis. Sothis. Abundance of Sothis. It is black. Abundance in many forms is increasing in flow to you. What I've learned is that abundance is always increasing and abundance is always flowing. The issue is always, can we identify it? Can we see it? Do you know that abundance is around you? I knew this before, but sometimes you might know something and then you don't see it until an event or a situation makes you be more aware of it. That situation happened to me not long ago, a few months ago, where I was around somebody who had lack mentality, and I've talked about it here. She was very much in her lack mentality, where nothing is enough, and she lived in this very beautiful environment surrounded by trees, and the house, of course, it's not fancy, but it's her house. It's a beautiful house with space. She has spaces there. To me, right? I think it was a beautiful place to be. But when you don't know or when you cannot see that abundance is flowing to you in every way, in every form, then nothing feels enough. You feel food is not enough, money is not enough, whatever else is not enough. And I know somebody will say, oh, but I don't have money, but I need money. Of course, it's the mindset. Do you have the mindset that abundance in many forms is increasing in flow to you every day, at every moment, and every time? And can you call it into yourself? Again, it's reminded me of a quote that I heard by Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. I also made a playlist of her on my YouTube because I listen to these things. And she was saying, you teach what you know, and then you create who you are. So if abundance is not flowing in your life and you feel that things are not enough, it's because deep within yourself yet you don't feel abundant. You don't feel that you can create it, even though you want it. Mentally, the story that you're telling yourself might not be a story of enough, being enough, and having enough, and you yourself are not enough. So then we end up creating pain and hurt and lack and whatever else, myself included. I've been through that more than I want to talk about, and I have had enough of it. Continue your good work of building channels through which abundance can be delivered to you. Another thing that I learned is if you're manifesting money or if you want money to come to you, on my threads, majority of the time, the things that I post is about manifesting money, right? From what I have learned, from what I'm learning now, and the things that I want to learn. And one thing that was taught to me is when you're manifesting money, don't manifest money to come. You have to open the channels and the ways that money can come to you, which is why there's always this saying, multiple streams of income. How many channels do you have where you can receive money? Wherever you are in the world, wherever you live, how many channels do you have where you can receive abundance, where abundance can flow from businesses you do, from people you talk to, from what you give, not give to receive, but just from what you give. How many channels do you have where it can just flow into you easily, right? Because the money is not going to just fall. I wish it would, because I would live there. But there has to be channels where it could get to you easily, where it's open for you. Hello, Afrocentric. Good day. Nice to see you. Freely share your talents, love, wisdom, and self. Enjoy the abundance responsibly flowing to you in many forms over and over again. Abundance in many forms is increasing in flow to you. Continue your good work of building channels through which abundance can be delivered to you. Freely share your talents, love, wisdom, and self, and enjoy the abundance responsibly, flowing to you in many forms over and over again. About this, right? This last part, especially, right? Share your talents, love, wisdom, and self. So many times people would say, but I don't know what my talents are. I don't know what to do. I feel lost. And we've talked about this briefly, I think, before, where I was saying that in our communities especially, because I can mostly talk about our communities, right? Many a time you hear people saying after high school or after college or after whatever, they need to take time off to go find themselves because they feel lost. They don't know what their talents are. They don't know what they're good at. They don't know who they are. That is predominantly a result of childhood trauma. Wherever you were born and raised and the people that raised you, you did not have the opportunity to explore yourself, to know who you are, to be in touch with you. Not what your parents want you to be, not what society wants you to be, not what everybody says you are supposed to be, right? Because I was supposed to be a doctor or a lawyer, because I'm from a place where if you're not a doctor or a lawyer, you are a failure. So, sorry, I'm right by the air conditioner and it just came on. So I hope you can still hear me. So it's that. So people feel like after studying this, I need to go find my talents and what I love. I need to find wisdom because they were not raised with it already. It wasn't given to them. It was already there, but society, parents, the environment, either dumb it down, bit it out of us, took it away, and so we've lost that. Now we have to go and find it. But we all already have our talents. We already have the wisdom. We already have the things that we love, that we can share with the world, that we can do. For some people, of course, it could be a certain job that they find and they absolutely enjoy, and it is part of their legacy or what they want to do. Some people, it is not a job that they have to go interview for. Some people, what they want to do is not in college. And I'm speaking as somebody who is in college, in university, planning to do my master's degree. But I have come to see that that is not for everybody. Not everybody wants to do that, or not everybody has to do that. So being able, as part of the healing journey, as part of the self-love, as part of understanding yourself and being in touch with yourself, knowing what your purpose is and what you want to do is a part of it. Because I don't believe that we were born to be here to work, get married, get a house, have some kids, retire, and then die. I don't I don't think that's what we were meant to do. But still, even though most of our parents have seen that that is not the way, right? Society still believes in that way. And you can go to school, you can have a degree, and still not think that way. I don't plan to. Even though I plan to have my master's degree, I don't plan to. But that also goes back to the first card that we read, the affirmation card, which is about your beliefs and your values, what you believe and what you value within yourself. What do you value? What do you believe? What are your intentions? Is that coming from you loving yourself and knowing who you are? Or is that coming from what society and everybody tells you that you're supposed to be? You're supposed to be a doctor. You're supposed to be a lawyer, right? You're supposed to have a degree and you're supposed to have a graduation party. You're supposed to wear the white coat because that makes money. You're supposed to be in the army. You are supposed to. Hi, Amy. Amy, I always call you Amy. Hi, Amy. All right. So when we talk about abundance, because that's a huge part of healing. Abundance is not just making money. Abundance is not just money. Abundance is everything. Health, wealth, relationships. That's abundance. Do you feel abundant? Volume, it's low. How about now? Is it better? But also the air conditioner just came on and I'm close to it. So it should get better in a little bit. So abundance, right? Like I was saying, it's not just the money you make. You can't hear me? How about now? How about now? My speaker is on. But always feel free to come to TikTok. How about now? Can you hear me? Well, I'm telling them to come to TikTok, but there's no sound. There was sound before. Maybe I turned this off. Okay, to come to TikTok or YouTube. I'll turn the Instagram one off. Okay, let me turn this one off since they can't hear the sound. Okay. Right? We were talking about abundance with this card. And maybe we can do one more card. Because that one feels good. At least in the way that I was raised and in the way that I was taught and what was said. You can hear me here? Okay, great. Yeah, TikTok is better. Right? In the way that I was raised, it's always about getting money. It's always about having money. It's always about looking for money. But really, nobody talked to me personally, at least about the power of being abundant. And healing is rooted in abundance. The power of being abundant, right? Because when you are abundant, it's like for women, it's like tapping into the divine feminine energy or the dark feminine energy. I have those groups on one group, divine feminine energy. That's how it's called. I have it on Facebook, and we talk about these things. And I also started a blog. If you can find the link in my bio, where I put together all these things I'm talking about and what I have learned. I also put practical tools, products that I use that you can use as well, right? So abundance is part of tapping into the divine feminine energy and the dark feminine energy. Divine feminine energy is being able to be soft, to live the soft life as it's called. The dark feminine energy is the self-love, it's the confidence, it's being able to speak your truth, like we were talking about when it came to Mami Water, emotional nakedness. It's all together. Now, as we heal, we might learn it separately. We might learn it one by one because it's phases. I can say now where I am at, I'm really in a very abundant phase, understanding abundance at a deeper level that I've never understood before, all through my healing journey. But there were times where all I was learning is anxiety and depression, getting out of that. There were times where all I was learning is understanding how to protect my energy, right? Energy protection, energy boundaries. And in one of the cards, it mentioned boundaries as well. Energetic boundaries, being able to say no to people, but also say no to yourself and have an energetic shield around you. I created a video about that. So, though there are phases and differences in each one, when you combine them together, that is the healing journey. It's not different. I feel that's enough. If there's anything else I say about abundance, it would be a repeat. Um, where did I hear this from? I don't remember exactly. Someone said when you look around you, you can see in terms of money. When you look around you, money surrounds you. So wherever you're watching me, you're surrounded by money. See how? Because everything around you can be exchanged for money or was exchanged for money. The buildings, the dress I'm wearing, right? This flower, this air purifier, this table light, you're surrounded by money. Money is what surrounds us. And the next thing that we have to do is just figure out where it's flowing and then stand right in the middle of it. I don't know, that came to mind. Anyway, okay, we're done with the Isis goddess. If anybody wants a card pulled, let me know, or we can call it a day today. And who knows, maybe I'll be here tomorrow. All right. So we call it a day today. And some of the resources that I do have that you can use to read about everything that we talk about and everything that I post. One is the blog, which I started very new. And the reason I've always wanted a blog, but I've always been skeptical, self-sabotage, lazy, and all of that when it came to starting a blog. But in my Facebook group, which is called the Divine Feminine Energy, and I post things I learn and things that I am learning. One of the members joined and was asking a question about how to be soft and how to be feminine with their partner. And this is a question that I get a lot, even though I always tell people I'm not a relationship advisor, right? And I cannot tell you what to do with your relationship. I can only share what I do with myself personally. I'm going through a lot. I need somebody to talk to. Where are you located? Where are you located? Depending on where you are, there's resources that you can get somebody to talk to. So let me know where you are. And they were asking about that, about feminine energy, also dark feminine energy, how to tap into their dark feminine energy, because that is mostly just confidence and not people pleasing. And the divine feminine energy is always about loving yourself, self love, living a very soft life, being able to receive instead of giving, 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 giving. USA, Virginia. Well, there are a few things you can do. There are free resources and there's some that you can pay for, right? I do one-on-one. You can find that link in the bio. We can do card reading or we can just have a conversation depending on what you want. We can do that. Or in US, now I'm not exactly sure the number in Virginia, but if you look it up, there are free resources where numbers that you can text and you're able to talk to someone. I know when it comes to New York, because it's the state that I know most and I'm familiar with most, there is 211. And when you text 211, they can give you a number of resources where you can just talk to someone online. And they're free for everybody, right? There are other resources as well. I just can't remember them now. Even the suicide hotline, you don't have to be suicidal. Even the suicide hotline, I used to have that link in my bio, but you can just look it up. The suicide hotline. You can call or you can message them and have somebody to talk to. So the resources are out there. If you just Google, I need somebody to talk to, the free resources would pop up in Virginia and you can talk to someone. If you have health insurance, you could be able to use that to get a therapist. I advocate for therapy because I have a therapist and I am studying to be a therapist as well. So I know the power of having a therapist, somebody to talk to. So if you have a health insurance or you can afford it, definitely look into having a therapist. Do it for at least 2, 3 years with a therapist and see how that would change your life, right? And if you do need it with me, the link in my bio, you can book a one-on-one and we can have a conversation and take it from there. And I don't mind being able to help you find those resources in Virginia because it's in every state in the United States. You can get it everywhere. Okay, right. So, yes, questions like these are why as I started the blog too, because I get this question and I get the question of divine feminine energy. What to do with your partner? Please don't come to me asking for relationship advice. I don't do relationship advice, right? But I can help you personally as a person individually, because there's a saying that the best thing you can do for your partner is take care of yourself. When you take care of yourself and they take care of themselves, you heal yourself, they heal themselves. When you come together, that's a whole different story, right? That's the part that I can help with. So I started the blog because of that. And that link is in the bio. The Facebook group is in the bio. The Telegram group is also in the bio on the social media. These are all free resources because whatever I have learned, whatever I got, whatever I know, things that I'm watching, things that I'm listening to, I share on these platforms. And I share all of this just because it's healing to me to share it. It feels good for me to let it go, to let it out. It feels great. That's where my healing happens. I learn something, I have to share that in the Telegram group, and then I post it there. It heals me to be able to do that. That's why I do that. So I'll see you again. I don't know when. Maybe tomorrow I'll be here. But Banhi Banhai, I don't know the name. Yes. The one in Virginia. If you're still here, please Google it. Just go online and just say, I need somebody to talk to or resources to talk to someone. Absolutely. Yeah. You can do that. You can do that, and then we can find those together as well. Because you can have different avenues and different resources around you. Even YWCA, if you have one in Virginia, they also help with those things. So we can do all of that together. So you can get the resources. Hello, Chair Fai. All right, bye everybody. I'll see you when I see you again.